Hey, folks, welcome to Affiliate Nerd Out. I am your nerderator, Dustin House, spreading that good word about affiliate marketing. You're going to find me on LinkedIn Live every Thursday, 12:15, so put it on the calendar and be here. I'm slowing down a little bit if you didn't notice. So check out these latest episodes. My nerd guests today are Camille and Nicole from Klaviyo and NordVPN. Welcome to the Nerdatorium.
Hi,
Thank you. It's a
Dustin.
pleasure.
So
Happy
listen,
to be here.
awesome. This is a little bit of a different format. Usually I have a format of interviewing just one person, but today I thought it would be super fun to check out what a good working affiliate partnership looks like. And you guys work together. So I thought it would be a great time for you guys to discuss what we go through as affiliate managers on both sides of the equation. So appreciate you being here. If you would like to be in Camille and Nicole's seat, come be a guest. Go to dustinhouse.com/nerd and drop an application for what you want to nerd out about. But without further ado, let's start off with you, Nicole. Who are you?
Well, I'm Nicole. I'm with Klaviyo, which is sort of a media brand which owns Best Reviews. We'll be focusing on today verticals. And I'm an easygoing person. I like talking with people just as we are doing, and looking forward to discussing our good partnership with Nord.
Beautiful. Love the hair. Love what's
Thank you.
going on there. Just you're on brand. It like
Yeah,
actually
matching the
matches.
Klaviyo logo.
Incredible. Like you should get a raise for that automatically. All right, Camille, how about you? Tell me about who you are.
Hi, Dustin. Hi, Nicole. Happy to be here. So, I'm Affiliate Account Director at NordSecurity, the company behind products such as NordVPN, NordPass, and we recently also launched a new product which is called Saley, and it's a new eSIM service.
Excellent. I'm familiar with the VPN and security space. I'm excited to talk to you guys both today. And let's start off with you, Nicole. So let's talk about who best reviews what you guys do and who you're servicing out there.
So Best Reviews focuses on extensive review content, third-party content. It's always more trusted, and so we focus on high-quality content that informs our visitors. Informed visitor is a purchasing client, so that's our focus. We focus on obviously high-quality brands operating in various verticals, security such as Nord, marketing, communications, and we target both consumers and businesses, usually small to medium-sized businesses. But yeah, essentially we focus on high-quality content that aims to educate our audience.
Beautiful. And security seems to be one of your big focuses at your company and a lot of SaaS products as well. So I've been watching you guys from afar for quite a few years and been really impressed with your guys' services and the way we've worked together in the past with some of my brands. Just love what you guys are doing over there, and you make it easy on affiliate managers in all reality. So all right, and tell us about you, Camille. What does Nord Security do, and who are you servicing out there?
Yeah, so basically, Nord Security has an aim to develop products within cybersecurity space and make customers' lives easy whenever they browse the internet or get mobile data while traveling or protect their credentials. So essentially we are coming up with a tools for customers that they can rely on in terms of their needs. So we have NordVPN, NordPass, and Saley. These our products. We also have a NordLocker, which is a secure cloud storage service, and we're empowering our clients to use all of our products to essentially be safe and make their lives easy.
Well, safety and security on the internet is at the utmost paramount of importance. It seems like there's a new breach of security somewhere in the world every month, and not even not every company is taking the right precautions. So I'm glad you guys are out there doing this. So
Totally.
when you have and your role is in the partnership development role, and I'm very interested on what do you do when you're looking at partners. For one, like before I let you get started, a big brand like Nord, a lot of applications, I would assume. I had a ton of applications when I was working at IP Vanish, and if I had 5% of the applications that were incoming that were good enough to accept into the program, that was a win for the day, essentially. But how do you go about finding the partners and choosing who you're going to work with out there?
Yeah, good question. I mean, talking about firstly about NordVPN, so it's almost like we're 10 years in the market, and we probably started affiliate marketing back then, almost like probably 7 years ago. So
Mm.
probably first 3 years were for the product making to establish ourselves in the market, and then we sort of like really early jumped into affiliate marketing. So whenever we talk about Nord or Nord Security, what I would say to have in mind is that our affiliate program is already very mature. So maybe the approaches that we take may be really different than for example for a brand that has just started out. But essentially we're like looking at the pool of partners, and we are segmenting them into different like segments of partners. So there may be like small partners, right, who will generate us like a couple of sales each month, but there may be our key accounts that we will rely on in terms of generating like really large volumes of sales every month. And that's where we have like key account managers who are like and making sure that these accounts are really well maintained. So we have basically really different criteria for different like segments of partners.
Mhm.
But generally we are really interested in working with as many as possible sites, or a small YouTubers, influencers, whoever come to apply to our program, because our main goal is to spread out the message about our product. So if you meet requirements, basic requirements such as traffic thresholds, and you don't really go against our policy guidelines, so then you're really welcome. And then really depends on your performance then how our partnership would look like. But generally as an encouragement, if you're watching this and if you're thinking like, should I work with Nord, we are really welcoming basically everyone who feels that they're spreading relevant content about cybersecurity.
Excellent. You brought something up in there, and that is essentially segmenting your groups of affiliates into like big players, big publishers, and maybe the smaller long tail affiliates. When you're going through applications and when you're reaching out to these partners, what do you have in as a mindset of like bucketing those affiliates that are joining your program?
Yeah, so I think essentially, we try to give absolutely all affiliates like equal opportunities to scale and to be able to, present Nord in the best light possible. So we do provide them with a really strong, content support. So we basically show them, the possible angles they can talk about
Mhm.
our products. We give them optimized landing page, and they always like whenever you join the program you already have like a dedicated account manager you can always reach out to if you have any questions in terms of optimization. But when we're talking about the key accounts that we work with, and one of them is Clovia, of course, and we're really happy about the partnership. So what we're doing then with them, we're having a really close partnership where we um, not just monitoring stats, but basically helping them in the cases of strong CRO insights, SEO insights. So we
Mhm.
do a lot of support for partner to ensure that they keep up to date with all the cybersec news, because we are on it all day long, so we can really share what's happening in the industry right away. So our partners, we do feel that they overseeing many verticals is really difficult for a big partner. So
Mhm.
that's where Nord comes in and helps to say, like, hey, there's this new trend happening over there, would you be interested in covering this, or so we're really on top of the trends.
Excellent. All right. And Nicole, how about on your side of things? How do you pick your advertisers that you're going to go out there and work with?
So we usually only reach out to brands that we firstly believe in and see the potential in not only the brand, but featuring them on best reviews and what our audience can do for them.
Mhm.
Sometimes brands reach out, and there's always some sort of assessment process of this brand will do well on best reviews, etc. But generally, all brands have good potential for growth and best reviews. So we put ourselves out there, present our product, our service, what we want to do for them, and then we go from there. As Camille said, developing close relationships and giving all our brands the same opportunity to grow on best reviews with the same sort of content optimizations, best converting land. These close relationships with the brands and the account managers allows us to then develop the content, the partnership, and everything so on.
Yeah, and I've been very impressed by the onboarding of working with you. You guys have some kind of sponsorship fee most of the time with the brands you're working with, and it's very affordable and very fair, and I really appreciate that as an affiliate manager that has to go through a lot of levels of thumbs up throughout I call it red tape, and it's really annoying. And when you gave us a no-brainer, easy to come back to solution, and you're getting a ton of content in exchange, it's an easy game. So I really appreciate the way you guys onboard your advertisers over there. Okay.
Yeah, definitely. It's great to hear that we close everything. So as all of the onboarding fees to make sure that our content team can really take their time, test everything, create the highest quality content from their own experience, not just what the brand passes through us first. And it's great when brands are okay with this. They see the value in our service, in our content team, and it's easy to step over the hurdles that higher
Yeah.
ups may.
Oh, for sure. All right. So we get a marriage between these two brands. The advertiser and the partner say, yes, we want to work together. What is a good starting point for a relationship? I'll let you go first here, Nicole. How do you approach starting the relationship together?
So as I mentioned before, we usually reach out to brands, show them what we want to do for them, show them the value in our
Mhm.
audience, in our content, etc. And then it's a matter of figuring out the finer details. As I mentioned, the best converting landing page, optimizing the content, and our partnership. So it's as best as it can be right from the get-go, and things can go off to a smooth start. A close relationship always, even in the beginning, really making that connection and developing things along as we go.
Awesome. Awesome. And on your end, what do you think, Camille? How do you like starting relationships?
Totally. I actually loved your comparison about, marriage and affiliate partnership. It's also a bit like that, whether it's a marriage or relationship. I think, the first step is basically outlining expectations on both sides. So I think a lot of times, sometimes jumping really quickly into, partnership without, aligning, the
Mhm.
capabilities, the possibilities on each side and the resources that may be needed for the partnership. So I think it's really essential for both parties to outline what they're expecting, what their first steps would be, and then go officially kick off the partnership with probably like a small scale test. And by saying small scale, I wouldn't mean that the results should be small. What I'm trying to say that it should be optimal, on both sides, that you're basically not investing, the 100% capacity from your side, but then you're starting with something really viable that makes sense for both sides. And I think what's really crucial at this stage of partnership is basically that both sides don't like kind of over push each other. So it's like
Mm.
starting out from a comfortable angle that makes both parties happy, because I think that's really important to show that both of the parties respect each other and they hope for the best, but at the same time it's like the best that we can do at this moment, and the effort comes from both sides. So we basically assume that the result will be dependent equally on both sides, not just on the brand or not just on the publisher side.
That's very well said, and it brings up a really interesting point and a tough point to approach sometimes, and that is setting expectations within the relationship. And this goes both ways, like what we can expect as a given and take, and it's in the negotiation process. But what are some of the ways that you approach the partners that you're working with on when to expect things from you from the brand's perspective? Let's start with you, Camille.
Yeah, I think basically when we're starting, like, the partnership, the expectations, probably we would always want to base them on real numbers and metrics we have
Mhm.
collected before, with, let's say, similar tier or scope partners. So, for
Right.
example, if I'm negotiating with X partner that is like an organic partner that has X amount of traffic, then I would be pulling out my stats for like similar partners with that they have similar like domain ranking, similar like organic traffic size. And then I would be thinking, okay, so is this something that we can replicate again? And probably my expectations then for the publisher side would be to sort of like replicate that performance that we have already achieved. So I think
Mhm.
that would be kind of the basis, like I think at least on our side. But of course we do really listen to the partner, and we really listen to the each feedback that he or she provides. So in some cases, like, we do understand that we would need to align our expectations. Sometimes they could be smaller, sometimes they can even be bigger, depending on what the partner is proposing. So but I think all the negotiations, all the expectations, I think it for us eventually it goes to a simple question, return on investment. So I think we're
Yeah.
always, when we're trying to build a new partnership, we would always look that it would make sense, first of all on our side in terms of return on investment, and then if this calculation also makes sense for our partner, then only then we go ahead with our best intentions on both sides.
That's well said, and you don't have a ton of demands on your side, but on Nicole's side, on the brand side for best reviews, um, I know as an affiliate manager for brands, and asking the numbers from you of what we can expect can be a tough question to answer. So how do you approach that, Nicole?
Well, I think those numbers, time, expertise, and in-depth analysis of content or
Mhm.
brands or performance. So we always try to have some numbers to provide in that category with similar partners, etc. So their expectations of us can also be very clear, and things are all on the table. No hidden metrics, nothing like that. So we try to be as clear as possible on what
Mhm.
brands can expect from us, what we can provide, maintaining that clear communication, making sure that our metrics are growing and that we always present partners with the most up-to-date. And from there, we'll also expect that same clear communication, what they expect from us, what they can give us, and something like along those lines of keeping everything on, making sure we're both aware of what each other can provide.
Okay, excellent. And as far as, we've come together and decided we're going to have this relationship. What does a negotiation process looks like when you're before we start that first campaign for you guys over on the brand side? We'll start with you, Nicole. Like, what does a win-win look like to you when you're in this negotiation phase?
I think it ended up tying with the expectations part. It's
Mhm.
fine. We're both aware of what to expect. Sure, everything is settled. Content team gets on the content, and we have this ongoing content creation. The partner will also, developments that they want to be included in the content. And from then, it's
Mhm.
just a matter of us putting out the content and start seeing the results.
Beautiful. And Camille, what about you? What's a win-win for you when you're negotiating?
Yeah, the first probably thought that comes to my mind when I hear the word negotiation is probably payout. It always comes to my mind,
Sure.
so quickly. But I think basically when we're negotiating, we always have to look, for as Nicole said, for the win-win situation. But I think the idea here, at least from the brand perspective, is that we get the maximum exposure even for a test that we can with a publisher, because the idea here is that in order to have a successful test, we would also need to be present in, let's say, top positions or be visible.
Mhm.
Otherwise the
Mhm.
test wouldn't work the same. So I think it's really critical for us to even start out with a strong already presence together on the publisher side, because I think that's really important. And I think when negotiating, it's really important to start off that we want to be successful, and we want to see like what is there out there that we can achieve together. But I think in terms of the payout, probably is one of the key parts of negotiation. So I think for Nord, again, it's the same magic word, a return on investment. So we try to
Mhm.
estimate whether we would be able to stay within a certain return on investment level that we're looking at. And of course, we always benchmark what similar publishers which volumes they can generate with similar type of promotions, and then what payout they are receiving. So then we try to be fair again with all the partners, and offer the similar payouts within a relative threshold in which the partner is operating in. So yeah, I think that would be it. But negotiations, it really depends. It's an art, and we're learning it every day. So I think it's a really interesting topic. And I think having had to deal with some really really big publishers in the US, it's really sometimes even a win to get their answer, like we're gonna look at it. So it's a
For
lot,
sure.
even if we're talking about such a big brand as NordSecurity. In some cases we're also like still being happy about publisher replying to us, because in certain cases it's really hard to, for example, convince a really big publisher to start cybersecurity vertical. So because they may be into politics, they may be into music, but basically convincing them to start cybersecurity vertical needs a lot of convincing, a lot of numbers, and lots of strong proposals. So
Oh,
we're
for sure. Maybe my favorite thing about affiliate marketing is that dopamine rush you get when you get a publisher response to one of your outgoing emails or messages out onto the internet. I love that feeling. And you bring out some really great points on the negotiation. And with the historical data that Nord has, with being having an affiliate program 7 years, that can be really dynamic for you to make educated decisions essentially on where to invest your exploratory budget essentially and do these hybrid deals. So with that point, like you've been doing this a long time and you've been accustomed to like looking and eyeballing what's going to be a good deal. But a partner like Best Reviews has SEO content and has much more potential in the long run rather than the short term. So how do you see that organic partners compared to like an influencer that might have instant results? Where do you like to allocate your budget? Do you like to go long term or do you like to go short term a little bit more?
Yeah, I think it's always the long-term game combined with some, pushes along the way in
Okay.
case you need to boost like your billings. But I think essentially we're, all the time playing the long-term game, and I think it's we really value our, organic partners that rank really well in terms of the keywords that we're interested in. So I think that's probably really was and is crucial from the start of our affiliate program, because traffic is different. So it's different in PPC, it's different in organic, but I think what we're essentially looking at is building really successful long-term partnerships that, as you mentioned, have the benefits on a long-term basis, where you can basically constantly reap the fruits instead of going one time and having like a successful campaign that will be one-off thing with high investment, as opposed to something that is maybe like smaller scale but long term, and then eventually we are winning in this long game.
Okay. Awesome. Well said. And Nicole, on that side of things, I know you guys are very strong on the SEO game and for long-term commitment to your content. But you guys also have some paid campaigns when you like create the content to like really boost it up and help those rankings eventually. And uh, talk to us about like how you decide like where is this budget going to go, and if this piece of content is really worthy of a lot of budget going in.
So it's great to hear that Norwich in the long term, as you know, our content is also invested in the long term, and it stays on Best Reviews forever, so we can constantly update it, promote the brand through other
Mhm.
content. We also have our teams that take care of all of that budget allocation for PPC, etc. Then we have our further
Right.
exposure opportunities. So for the shorter term, let's say we have, and then we also have our blog articles on Best Reviews that also invest in the long term. So it's a matter of looking at brands, seeing how we're doing, what can be done, what opportunities would best fit the partners, seeing if our suggestions fit with the partners' expectations, goals, needs, and assessing these together and developing from there.
Excellent. All right. So let's say we have this relationship and that first campaign is a success for both of you. You guys both look good on the affiliate manager side. What's next? What's that next step for continuing and nurturing this relationship into that next level? You go ahead and go first, Nicole.
Matter of first and foremost keeping the content updated, whether it's
Okay.
features, offers, landing pages. For example, if there's been pages, what converts best now. Keeping the partnership very tight, even in the eyes of our audience. For example, co-branded landing pages, vanity
Mm,
codes,
yeah.
real performance, and keeping that relationship tight to ensure that things keep moving smoothly. And looking at further content that can be created, as I mentioned, so it's heavily on brand awareness and redirecting audience from social media back to our content to keep informing and just keeping the content going, the partnership going, momentum.
Oh, that's great. And keeping that content up to date can be really tough, especially in that VPN space where it's so competitive and there's a new coupon coming out for like every single holiday out there. Like St. Patrick's Day has a 70% off deal. Like it is really tough to keep up on your guys' side. Uh, Camille, what do you think on your side? That first campaign success, how do you guys like to nurture the next steps?
Yeah, I totally agree with what Nicole has just shared with you guys. So I think what's probably also important to add as well. Like on our side, we look at the first campaign, we analyze the results, we check the return on investment, we check where we can improve. So both the partner and both the brand. So as Nicole mentioned, maybe you can. Run different like A/B testing with different landing pages. Maybe you
Mhm.
can, add more localizations. Maybe you can add, tweak some parts of the content. You track which parts of the content are performing best, and you try to also replicate the campaign success with even larger volumes as the next step. So basically, you're looking then if your first campaign was successful, then you're looking into like. Probably a long-term roadmap what you can basically achieve in the long term with the partner. So probably it's like worthwhile aligning like next quarter strategy, next year strategy, and how you can basically strengthen what was already achieved. Because basically with organic partners, when we have partnerships, we really try to make sure that they are keeping up with all the trends, so that search
Mm.
engines still continue to rank them well. Because it's not enough to produce a content once in a while, because uh, it's really important to stay on the top of SERPs, and Google is known for their really heavy updates, which really make drastic changes on SERPs.
Right.
And for example, we recently looked at SERPs, and after the latest Google update, they so many partners were like flipped, and they changed their key positions. But I think why I think it's really important to basically continuously monitor the performance, but also help the partner to continuously strive for relevant content, and making sure that they keep on repeating the best practices every month, and making sure that you're on the top of the mind for consumers in that whole marketing funnel.
Excellent, excellent. And regarding like the communication of nurturing this partnership that you guys have, how do you guys like to stay in contact? And before you answer that, Camille, I like to say a best practice for me, at least, is as a brand, I take my top 10 partners and I like to have a cadence 30-minute phone call with them once a month, just to build that relationship and continue to get to know them as a person, essentially, and at least my representative. But how do you go about approaching this with some of your biggest partners?
Totally. So I think, monthly calls are essential, because you always have to, keep in touch and, discuss the monthly performance. So I think that's essential. But I think in terms of key accounts, probably we do like to keep even a closer, a partnership, and we try to like meet our key partners in conferences
Yeah.
that they're attending. So I know that I'll see you, Dustin, in Miami. So that's where Nord is heading as well, and we'll be meeting some of our key partners, as well as we will look for new ones. But I think the idea is also to keep that human connection, where it's possible, whenever it's possible. So meeting partners and having a drink with them is also sometimes really really helpful, because basically then you can chit chat about the whole vertical, about the cybersecurity space. And I think once you get that human touch and human connection, it's easier to maintain the partnership. And probably when you have this close partnership, it's really really helpful to meet in person, and for example to showcase your product in real time. For example, pull out the phone and show how NordPass works, and how you can see in real time if you have been breached, if your
Wow.
credentials have been used, etc. Or tell a partner like, hey, download Saley app. Like, look, I'm using Saley now. I'm in the US and I'm using really cheap data plan because I need mobile data in US, and it's much cheaper than
Mm,
buying it from a local, from your mobile partner. So
yeah.
I think that's something that is really, really helpful in terms of building partnerships.
Yeah, it's nice to work for a company that gives you the budget to go do these kinds of conferences and travel every once in a while. I love it when they invest in my education and my partnership development. It's super key. And what about on your side, Nicole? What do you do to nurture these partnerships?
It's more or less what you both have mentioned already. Regular calls, on
Okay.
top of everything, keeping up with performance, really getting to know the person on the other end, so we can develop a closer relationship, both as affiliate managers, as people, and really invest in the brand because we believe in the relationship that's been attending conferences as well. Some brands, some publishers may prefer virtual ones. We prefer in person. We really appreciate speaking face to face. Somewhat like we're doing down, as Camille said, showing products, showing metrics, etc. And really speaking even outside of just business to know each other,
Mhm.
brands, and developing that tight relationship.
Yes, yes, and oddly enough, like this relationship, this podcast today that we put together was because Helen and I met at Affiliate Summit back in January, and we created this idea that was really unique to what I was doing, and I loved it. So that's where it stemmed from, and getting to those conferences is essential, in my opinion, for your growth as an affiliate manager altogether. Um, all right, so thank you so much for your insight on the nurturing of the partnership and that step-by-step process that you go through. I love what you guys are doing and how you guys are doing it. Are I want to talk about tools that you guys may be using out there that you might want to introduce to the other folks that may be listening. Are there any tools that you are finding very helpful? What about you, Nicole?
Well, I'd say that a good affiliate platform, a good affiliate program is always a good basis for an
Hmm.
affiliate platform with an
All
agency,
right.
etc. In some cases
All right.
where
What's your
partners
favorite? What's your favorite?
don't have an affiliate program, well, we have all of them, and each comes with their different value. Some, for
Uh-huh.
example,
Uh-huh.
offer post-back integration. Some have better reporting. So I couldn't say a favorite because they all have their strong points,
All right.
and sometimes you want to make the perfect one. But in cases where affiliates or affiliate partners don't have field programs, we also use Link Trust, where basically we can provide them
Oh,
a script that they can introduce on their confirmation page, checkout page, that will then assign the conversion for us. Um, and essentially, let's say that's that program. If partners don't have it, we can try to implement it on our side. And generally keeping things organized on our end as well through a good CRM.
okay, excellent. You mentioned the portion there of, oh man, I lost my thought. Some good tips there, and I like how you're staying agnostic to your affiliate networks. It's that's classy. I mean, not the way I would have gone. I throw out everything in my opinions, but I like the way you go about things here. Camille, how about you? What tools are you using out there?
So I think basically what was probably essential to outline that we use a number of tools, and depending on depending on the process where we need, the tool to be able to do something more efficiently. But I think what's really helpful for us is basically for affiliate managers is to constantly use tools like Ahrefs, SimilarWeb, etc. Probably you all know these, and it's not something new that I'm telling you, but I think it's really essential to learn how to master them on a really pro level, because then it really helps to understand, like, your partner, what are the strengths of the partner, which are the pages that have the most potential for you to have, product placement. So I think these are our, what we call daily bread of a affiliate marketing manager. And then in terms of, we use, a number of tools at NordSecurity, but I think, for example, with outreaches, you use many, like, tools like Mixmax and etc. that
Ooh.
help you, outreach partners more efficiently. But yeah, it really depends on the stage of the process that we're talking about. But I think I would probably put a focus on traffic SEO monitoring tools, because these are giving so many helpful insights to optimize the partnership.
Okay, awesome. I like the Hrefs and SEMrush, similar web points. I mean, those tools don't get old, but make sure you're taking a look at Affy Stash. Go. Kristen Evans loves Affy Stash. She thinks it's a snake's pajamas. All right. Um, just give it a look there, Camille. I think it could help with your contact scraping if you're out there. What about your guys' day? Last question here. What's your day look like on a normal basis? Go ahead. You go first, Camille.
I think, like, each day at NordSecurity can be so different, but
Mm.
I think that's why it's so exciting, because you wake up, you open your laptop, and you never know what you're going to see, because there's so many things that we're working on. And I think what's probably the most exciting part, about working at Nord, is that we work with different products. So as mentioned, within our affiliate team, we have a number of products that we take care of. So there can be, you wake up and you can have, 3 meetings, and then, 150 Slack messages,
Ha.
and more meetings. But your day can be really cool. And for example, you may have, AI trainings organized by the company, which I will have actually tomorrow. So
Ooh.
this is something that I'm really looking forward to. That's really, exciting, how to leverage AI, because I'm sure we all know, the basics of, ChatGPT, etc., on a very basic level. But that's very interesting how it can really help, if we use it more properly. But I think overall, our day is very different each time. But I think the essentials of, emails, calls with partners, and daily monitoring of key stats of your partners, of your products, is essential part. So you probably start your day always pulling out the latest dashes of the performance of the products, and then, replying to your partners, checking, what's new on the product side. It's really important to always have the sync, what's happening on the product side, what are the new releases. And we're
Mhm.
always really dynamic, and we really keep a really close contact with our colleagues. So we're always, sharing ideas, discussing things collectively, and that's really dynamic, because I think when we're sharing things, then, the best ideas come out. So it's always very lively.
Yes, I love maybe my favorite portion of this job is the challenge, the new challenge every day, and that nothing is repetitive, because I like my brain going and trying to think critically to get things done. And I love that your mindset is in that same place. What about you, Nicole? Any more stability over on the publisher side that you would say?
No, I'd say it doesn't really what Camila said. There's, somewhat of a similar structure every day with emails, calls, etc. But
Yep.
every day is a new day, new partnerships, or existing ones. also new things that we may put out, or on internal meetings where we discuss performance, new ideas, what more can be done in terms of content partnerships. Every day really is a new day, also learning opportunities. Clovio also provides those. We have our team events, so gather around at the studio and go do something fun together to really also tighten the bonds
Yes.
in our team. So every day is a new day, and much like Camille said, you never know what you're getting into when you're meeting. It's either 100 messages through email, 100 messages on Teams, what we use, and fun. As you mentioned, Dustin, it's good that new that it keeps your brain going, and keeps you striving to do better, more, etc.
Yeah. You know, I envy you guys in the sense that you get to go into an office and see people. That is a part of my life that I'm missing. I love the remote life. Don't get me wrong. I've been doing it for like 7 years now, but sometimes I like to see people's faces and hang out and have a drink with them, and you just don't get that as much. I like a little hybrid approach. But all right, as we wrap this up, how do we connect with you folks? Camille, go first.
So you can basically find me on LinkedIn by typing my first name and last name. And so would be happy to connect with you guys.
Awesome. And Nicole?
Same with Camille, you can find me on LinkedIn, Nicole Neves. You can also drop us clovio.com, and either myself or one of my colleagues will get back to you.
Excellent. All right. Thanks for joining me. This has been great content. Really appreciate your guys' insight here. And for those folks watching, keep on recruiting, and we'll see you out there. Take care.